Hey, welcome back. Welcome back to Just Ranked. We have a first for us. We normally record a bunch of stuff way ahead of time and release them weekly. Unfortunately, we had a big embodiment of a person, a big musician pass away recently. And we're talking about John Osbourne, Ozzy Osbourne. He passed away on the 22nd, and the world's is kind of, in that feeling right now. And I am one of those. I feel very sad that he has passed. He's been in my life for a very, very long time, my whole life. So 54 years he's been in my life. So real quick, before we get going onto the show, if you could just go ahead and visit justrankedpod.com, click like, subscribe, hit the bell like ACDC, get those notifications. I'm Jimmy. We have Dink, Chris, and Joe. As usual, the four norms here. Thank you for coming to see us again. But I just want to talk a little bit about Ozzy, if you guys don't mind. So he's well known for being in Black Sabbath. He was in Black Sabbath for quite a long time. He was a co-founder. We're not going to be talking about Black Sabbath much today. Maybe a mention here or there. But in 1979, he was released from Black Sabbath and kind of went aimless. Got 96,000 pounds for his stake in Black Sabbath and went on a binge. And ended up in a hotel, and a record company, Jet Records, was interested in seeing what he could do with this Blizzard of Oz, this band that he wanted to put together. And 1980 happened. He put this band together, and magic happened. In my mind, magic happened. From there, Blizzard of Oz, 1980, Randy Rhoads. The world was introduced to a virtuoso. A year later, 1981, Diary of a Madman, again, Randy Rhoads. Shortly after that, Randy Rhoads tragically passed away, and he had to move on. Bark at the Moon came out in 1983, introduced us to Jake E. Lee. I know Joe's not a big fan of Jake E. Lee, but I love Jake E. Lee. A couple years later, Ultimate Sin, again with Jake E. Lee. Another couple years after that, No Rest for the Wicked. We got Zakk Wylde coming in. The world got introduced to the pinch harmonic. No More Tears, a couple years after that, 1991. Osmosis, 1995. Down to Earth, 6 years later, 2001. Undercover, Ozzy Osbourne had a cover album that covered a bunch of stuff. 21st Schizoid Man, All the Young Dudes, Good Times, Sunshine of Your Love, Fire, a bunch of great songs on this album. Black Rain in 2007. Scream in 2010 introduced Gus G to the world. He thought Zakk Wylde's guitar riffs were a little too Black Label Society for Ozzy Osbourne. I know, Prince of Darkness thought it was getting too heavy. Ordinary Man, 2020. So many musicians on this album. Patient Number 9, 2022. Jeff Beck, Clapton, some of the notable musicians on this album. Him and his wife started Ozfest because he was denied Lollapalooza touring. So they started Ozfest, and that went from 96 to, I didn't write it down, I think it was like 2007. I could be wrong. Please tell me in the comments.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, please tell me in the comments if I'm wrong. But John Michael Osbourne, born December 3rd, 1948. I miss Ozzy, and it's only been, a handful of days, and I am sad. With that, we're going to talk about the entirety of his music, our 4 favorite songs, his 4 best songs, whatever version you want to say. We're going to start off with Joe. So, Joe, take it away. The show is yours.
Just real quick, Jimmy, like you said, like Ozzy's been in my life. I'm 53 years old. He's been around forever. Everyone's joked. It's like, oh, Ozzy's still alive. And, I saw I mentioned in chat earlier this week after he passed, I saw his final tour in 1991.
His final.
Okay. And he looked old on stage back then.
Yeah.
He sounded great. But we remarked when we were at the show, like, man, he's running around like a grandma. But the guy was resilient as hell. His voice never faltered,
Yeah.
So yeah, I like you. It probably hit me a little bit harder than I thought it would because, like I said, it's one of those, especially when you get to be older, like we are getting now. Your heroes start passing away, and people, musicians, and artists have been in your life your entire life are now going away. So it's been a little weird week. Like everyone else, I've revisited a lot of Ozzy stuff, even some Ozzy stuff I hadn't listened to, some of his newer stuff. And I know a lot of
revisited that new stuff.
Yeah,
because I hadn't. Right.
Yeah, and neither have I. He'd fallen off, and I'm like, okay, well, it's he's not putting out the stuff that I preferred, right?
Right.
Even though I've really probably listened to 4 albums, his first 2, and obviously No More Tears and Randy Rose live album.
Tribute.
Tribute. Yeah, thank you. But there's some good songs in there I found in there. So it's been a weird work. Anyhow, this is to honor Ozzy. Like Jimmy said, we're not going to be talking about Black Sabbath. This is only Ozzy solo stuff going on here because we'll probably have
a Black Sabbath somewhere.
Yeah, we'll do a Black Sabbath. Yeah. Yep.
Gladly.
Yep. Gladly. But just right off the bat, I'm just tell you, as a guitarist, Crazy Train's not on my list because Crazy Train is one of the greatest riffs, one of the greatest solos ever written. I'm like Back in Black. I'm very sick of that song. Yeah. I can never hear it again. It's like I said, it's one of the all-time best rock songs ever written, ever. But it's not on my list because I can't listen to it anymore. Yeah. But that being said, number 4 was a surprise to me, but not really, but kind of a surprise, is the title track from 1991's No More Tears. The song is written by Ozzy, Zakk Wylde, Mike Inez, Rene Castillo, John Purdell. The single was released September 16, 1991. It only hit number 71 on the Hot 100 in US, which we said before encompasses everything. And it's weird when you think about these big legendary rock tracks in the US, they don't really track that high on the Hot 100. It's kind of
fun. That's their perfect proof right there because everybody, probably including my wife, like everybody knows that song.
Everyone knows that song, the bass line, that video. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
You think it would be higher, right? But that just shows that rock doesn't get the due it should, and why they have their own charts.
Yeah. That being said, it hit number 5 on the rock charts.
Right.
Yep.
So Ozzy does call the song, or did call the song, a gift from God because it came about with the band just jamming. And according to Zakk Wylde, it came about literally as the song is written. It started out with Mike Inez playing the bass line, and then everyone kind of joined in as they're jamming. So,
which he was a new addition to the band at that time. The whole bass trade with Ozzy and Alice in Chains.
Right.
Like I said, of course, it starts out with that memorable bass line. I can still hear it in my head. Everyone knows that song. When I think of the bass line, I automatically think of the video because it was on MTV all the time. It was on everywhere all the time. Yep. And then, of course, Zak's riffs, because he's riffing around Ozzy's vocals, doing those Zak pinch harmonics and those, just the Zak style riffs that you love, right? I will say this too, after listening to the entire album, I think the song is one of his best vocals on the album. I really do.
Clean and concise, yes.
Yeah. And most people know too, but some people don't.
Vocals ever. I think one of his songs, vocally, it's one of his best personally.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the whole album really is really good vocally. It's funny you said you saw his farewell tour around that time or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's about the time he started to be really non-coherent speaking.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think if you watched him in the 80s or knew him in the 80s, yeah, he was always a little bit out there, right? But he was pretty clean and precise when he talked, right? But then somewhere in the 90s, and I think it was around the No More Tears album, he's had marbles in his mouth, right? I don't know if it was a condition or the drugs or whatever, right? And or clearly didn't get any better as time went on. But as soon as he got the mic in his hand, it was always solid, right?
Well, it was always like, I don't know if you guys know the old country singer from the early 70s, Mel Tillis.
Yeah, my dad was a huge Mel Tillis fan.
Famously had a really bad stuttering problem, but when he sang, not a problem.
Yeah.
And you mentioned it. That's about the time he got marbles in his mouth. That's about the same time you stopped understanding Bob Dylan too, because I remember Bob Dylan being on like the Late Show 10th anniversary, and he was singing for David Letterman, and you couldn't understand a fucking thing. He was like,
I remember my sister's friend going, "I'm embarrassed to say I own Bob Dylan albums after that performance."
So you're right, though. That's about the time we stopped to understand what the hell, and we needed sub or captions for Ozzy when he was talking.
Right.
But like you said, when you picked up Mike, though,
even when he was shooting the Osbournes, he was using a cane a lot of the time, right? When you'd see him on camera, right?
And half the time they had captions up for him.
Yeah.
But what? Even on his final show, man, he still sounded good, man. I don't care. Being 71, still sounding that good. Yes, I know.
It was amazing. Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know this, but the live stream was actually 2 hours delayed. And this YouTube channel, I forget what's it called? It's really good, but he does a really good job analyzing live vocals, whether they're real or not.
What does he do?
Analyze, I forget.
Anal licenses.
He analyzes live vocals to see if they're real or not, right? So anyhow, he was analyzing the camera footage people were posting online, and then the actual stream footage, and his vocals are corrected in the stream footage. Okay. But that being said, even uncorrected for a 71-year-old guy going through the shit he still sounded really good, man.
Yeah. 76, just so you know.
76. Okay, 76. Yeah. I stand corrected. I'm 76, man. Whatever. He was saying 71 because I'm looking at No More Tears notes and just says 1991. My dyslexia is kicking in that one. That's my number 4.
Yeah.
My number 3 is a deep cut from Blizzard of Oz. It's Steal Away the Night.
Steal away.
This song, I remember picking up the album because obviously I got the album because of Crazy Train, right? And all of a sudden he's like, what is this song? And I always thought this is the best song on the album. That riff that Randy's playing, man, that solo, it's just up there with Crazy Train. I think a little more, it's actually not as repetitive as Crazy Train's verse and choruses are. Not that that's a knock, I'm just saying there's a little more variation going on from one chorus and one verse to the next. But it's always been my favorite song off of Blizzard of Oz. I don't have many notes on this, but like I said, it's always my favorite track off the album, and I always thought it was actually the hidden gem. So, yeah, that's my number 3, Still Away the Night.
That's a good pick. I didn't expect to hear it, actually. And it's much like our last couple episodes. I personally don't think you're going to find a bad track, no matter what we pick.
Yeah,
because
I agree.
Because I like his catalog so well. Yep. Other than the newer stuff, which I'm sadly just getting familiar with it because, like we just talked about, like he kind of fell off for me. And in the last 2 or 3 albums, I'd only listen to select tracks, maybe the ones that were released.
Yeah, sure. The videos, whatever. Yeah.
But now this whole past 4 or 5 days, I've just went on a deep dive, right? And because I already know all the old stuff, so I'm like, well, what did I miss?
So for you, it's new Ozzy stuff, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I think that happens.
Choice, man.
I think that's what happens with a lot of artists who've been around for 50 years, man. Just, you have your diehards, and you have some people where he just kind of falls off, and you just stop, not because you hated a particular album, just because he fell off. Because again, music is everywhere.
And there's so much music, right? Like,
and then you go back, and it's almost kind of nice it felt because you're like, oh my god, this is brand new to me. This is amazing stuff.
Right.
Here's a couple new
and
tracks.
It's still him, right? Like, but that old stuff, like you said, with this song and a bunch of other tracks that I'm sure are coming up. There's Randy, right? So it's always good. Right?
I was just gonna say that the Ozzy tribute album, Steal Away, is the gem because there's a lot of ad libs. Little different versions. The guitar solo is different and better. So I just wanted to put that in there. That's
great.
Version.
Great catch. Yeah, that's a perfect example. But yeah, that's my number 3. My number 2 are pretty much more basic bitches, but they've always been up there. Number 2 is Over the Mountain from Diary of the Madman.
Wow, nice.
Diary of the Madman from 1981. Written by Daisley, Kerslake, Rhodes, and Ozzy. Not too many people know this, and you guys might know this, but Bob Daisley famously said when the band was put together, they were told the band was being put together, and Ozzy was going to be the lead singer of a band called Blizzard of Oz. It wasn't until the band saw test pressings of the album where it said Ozzy Osbourne, Blizzard of Oz. We're like, what?
Yeah, I kind of hinted at that in my opening.
Yeah.
This Blizzard of Oz thing. Yeah.
And to keep this positive, I'm not gonna mention Sharon at all because
I'm not gonna either.
So I'm gonna keep this positive. Anyhow, so it's the opening track to his sophomore album, Diary of a Madman. Again, this song is just the best of what Ozzy and Randy did together. You know, Randy was now being in the second album. I think he was more comfortable with what he was doing. He was getting a name of him for himself. Again, another artist who was taken way too early. Never was very humble. I think we mentioned about it in past shows that, you know, Randy would famously, when he was on tour, whenever he go to a city, he'd take a guitar lesson from a local guitar teacher because he just wanted to consume as much as possible. So the guy never had an ego like, ooh, I'm the next, you know, so-and-so or whatever it may be, because he was coming up the same time that, you know, Eddie Van Halen would have made a name for himself. Never, ever had that attitude. And everyone you see in every interview always said Randy was the nicest kid in the world. And I think that's why Ozzy took a loving to the guy. And always, whenever he saw Ozzy talk about Randy, he got emotional, you know, because he had that connection with him, you know. But this song represents, I think, what they did the best of. And again, I think one of my favorite bridges before one of his solos too is how it kind of kicks down a little bit and goes into a solo. I love that. So that's my number 2, Over the Mountain.
If you guys don't have anything,
I have lots, but it's probably coming up on my list, so I'm not going to say anything. So.
Okay. Well, I want to add something to this. This drummer Lee Kerslake, that the intro to this song, that drum fill.
Yep.
And how he filled, like, after this awesome triplet roll that he does in the beginning, even throughout, he is filling this space really uniquely. And I loved how this drummer Lee Kerslake kind of kills it on this song. He gets to really shine on this song.
Yep.
Ozzy said to him, play. I'm not going to stop you from playing. I want you to play. I want it to be bombastic. And he pulls it off on this song. So,
yeah, I think one of my notes on this too is it's one of the few songs, you know what, Bob Daisley and Kerslake were both very good musicians, amazing musicians, but of the written stuff, this is one of the songs where they kind of keep up with Randy on musicianship.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
I will add this before you move on, so we don't have too much repetition when we get to mine, because this song is on my list.
What?
Yeah. So I had some stuff about the drum work too. So nice. I knew the drummer in the group would pick up that slack. But I'll give you this. I found this in my diving. Drummer Frankie Benally from Quiet Riot claims that he's the one that came up with the drum pattern for the song when hanging out with Randy. Now, that has never been debunked or proven or anything else.
I didn't bring it up for that reason.
Right. I just thought I would throw it in there since we are talking about the drums, because I think Lee's work is incredible in that song.
Yeah. And no offense, I don't know. This is the first time I'm hearing of that. And the drum part sounds like a Kerslake drum line. I don't know. It sounds like doesn't sound like he's playing Smash's stuff.
I'm a lifelong Benally fan. He did so many different things with so many different bands.
Right.
And that actually sounds like a Frankie Benally.
Oh, it does? Okay. All right. Again, this is a guitarist talking drums. So what do I know?
Right. And his relationship with Randy, obviously from Quiet Riot, right? Like he's correct. What I read, and it was an interview from a metal magazine or something, that Randy had called him and he came to the studio and they were fooling around. And that's how that song started, because Daisley was there too, right? So,
and for people that don't know, when it comes to music, every part of a song is copyrightable except for one thing:
the drums.
Right.
So, and there's pluses and minuses to that, you know, because you can literally take a drum line and go, okay, that's this song, right?
Yeah, I never read that he was claiming that he wanted credit for it. It was him though, right? So
he just put it out there.
He just threw it out there, right? Which is a nice little throw it out there and see what sticks.
That's kind of the person he was. Yeah.
Just throw it out there and see what the Piranhas do.
Right.
Yep.
My number one's kind of a shocker to me because I do love the song. I thought it'd be a little bit lower. Yep. And
the old shocker.
The old shocker. But it is You Can't Kill Rock and Roll. Of course, coming from Diary of a Madman, 1981. Again, like I said, I've always loved this song. And when I was going through all the stuff the last few days, like this song is just I still love this song like it was brand new. So it kept on rising up in my ranks. I think it started at number 3 and it just kept on going up because it's just in my mind with everything I was listening to, this is still brings me back when I first heard it. Again, written by the trio of Daisley, Rhodes, and Ozzy. It's the 3rd track in the album. Randy at this time too was, I think people forget, showing people something new, that you could play an acoustic guitar and still rock. It was kind of new when it came to heavy metalish, if you want to call it, and it's called Ozzy heavy metal rock, playing acoustic guitar. And Randy brought so much different styles to the instrument, especially to the genre, that this song really showcases that. Again, great work from Rhodes. And new interesting fact, I looked this everywhere, and apparently it's true. The coolest fact about this song is that Ozzy has never performed a song live.
Really?
That is also in my notes.
God damn it. And so as you can tell, Dink and I have no original thoughts.
Yeah, you're living inside my brain right now. That's for sure.
When I found that, I checked everywhere. I'm like, this can't be true.
I did too. I was like, that can't be true. I did the exact same thing.
I even checked YouTube. Like, okay, I want Ozzy live. You can't kill rock and roll. No, can't find it anywhere, man.
No, never did. Right.
And
I
so
don't
I
it's never said that it was an ode to Randy. It just never made a set list. And the longer years went on, it just.
And the biggest thing too was they took a lot of the songs, because at that time when they were on tour in 81 with Randy, they were still playing songs from the first album. They were still playing, Black Sabbath albums or songs. And so when it came to this, they just handpicked a couple of the singles, and that's what they were playing off the album. And it wasn't by design, like, we're not going to play the song. It just, they didn't when Randy was around, and when he left, they never did. So maybe that could be too, because it was a more personal Ozzy, but there's nothing to back that up. But it's just, I found it interesting over the 4 decades.
I thought it was really cool too.
That he never played that live, which is amazing. But sometimes artists have either deeply connected to a song, they can't play it live, or it just falls off their radar because they're just playing the hits. So that is my top 4. That leaves us for Mr. Chris.
Hi.
Hi.
All right.
Hi, guys.
So I'm just going to preface my list with, I love Ozzy, but most of the music that I listen to from him now is with Black Sabbath. So when I did this list, mine, I think, more so than Joe's, is basic because most of my picks are what I would listen to on the radio. I didn't own a lot of Ozzy albums. I think Tribute was the first one I owned. And then I went back, and I think I only owned Bark at the Moon. But I love Ozzy for the music. Bark at the Moon. Nice. His voice, but also his personality, just him in interviews. And he just seemed like a great guy who is just, he's an individual. He was himself. There was no other Ozzy before him. And there's not going to be anybody after him. He was an individual, and for that,
Agreed.
I love him. Right?
Chris, on that, it was kind of amazing, not just through the tribute, but every time you saw somebody talk to Ozzy, whether they were famous or not, Ozzy was really invested into the conversation. He was very talkative. He was very engaged. He
charismatic. Yeah.
I mean,
that's probably why there's such an outpouring of love, right? It's not just that a singer or a celebrity died. People, the famous people that actually knew him, fucking loved him.
Fucking loved him to death.
Yeah. Well, and then when he was on the TV show, like, I didn't watch it all the time, but I've watched a lot of clips of it because, again, I love Ozzy, and he's fucking hilarious.
He's hilarious, man. Yeah.
When they would take him out to, like, Jack took him to a fucking band that was a Black Sabbath tribute
Oh,
band.
yeah.
But they were Ronald McDonald and fucking Grimace and the Hamburglar, and they were all McDonald's. And Ozzy was killing him fucking self, laughing at it. Like, he loved it, right?
Yeah.
Just seeing him enjoy stuff like that, it just made you love him even more, right?
Yeah.
And so that above the music for me is what I'm going to miss. I miss him, you know.
Yeah.
Sorry for anybody who's a music fan of him.
Yeah.
But anyways, I don't have a lot to say for my number 4. My list might be quick because my number 4 is the same as Joe's number 4. No More Tears. I even have, what's this? Song came from jamming, gift from God, blah, 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 blah.
You want to know something funny?
Baseline, man.
So it was my number 4, and before this afternoon, I flopped it with my number 5 because I'm like, I really like my number 5. They were really close, and I thought,
right,
one of those guys is going to have No More Tears anyway.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I'm flopping. So that would have been hilarious. All 3 of us have number 4, No More Tears.
I forgot to ask, are we doing shots tonight?
Right.
Well,
Well,
anyways,
let me fill in a little note. It's not directly about this song; it's about the album.
okay.
Lemmy from Motorhead wrote 4 songs.
yeah.
4 of the biggest songs
Yeah.
on this album, and they were Hellraiser, Don't Want to Change the World, Mama, I'm Coming Home, and Desire. He said he made more on those 4 songs in that year than he did in his whole 15-year career.
Well, let's be honest. Everyone loves Lemmy, but they weren't the most successful band. They weren't the great. I mean, it's
but you mentioned I can't remember which one you guys mentioned about the charismatic Ozzy. Lemmy was the same way, and he was extremely approachable.
Yeah.
I think it was the Rainbow.
People love
Rainbow. Yeah, the Rainbow. Yeah.
He had his own chair,
still there.
It had a little nameplate on it. It was Lemmy's chair. Every night he'd go there and smoke cigarettes and drink beers, and he would gladly let you buy him a beer. And he was his war stories. Those were air quotes for the listeners. He would tell his war stories, and he would talk to anyone that would listen.
Yeah.
So very approachable, and I guess a very, very loving person.
Yeah, I still remember doing a double take when I was reading. We all used to read liner notes back in with the risk of sounding really old. But I got my CD. I'm like, Lemmy, because at that time, Mama, I'm Coming Home was on radio. I'm like, Lemmy wrote this,
right,
dude, and it was kind of tear jerky, man. That was the last song he played, man.
Right.
And absolutely. I think he had a little bit harder time singing that song too, but the crowd kind of came in and yeah.
One more thing about the Lemmy thing is Lemmy was having some financial issues, so he went to Ozzy, said, "Hey Ozzy, man, can I get a loan from you?" He goes, "I'll do you something better. What the 4 songs that you wrote that are on my album, which one do you want?" He said, "Well, I really like Hellraiser." So Ozzy said, "You can have it. Put it on your album. I won't take any royalties from it." And he put it on his album, and he made a shit ton of money from that. And that was the loan that Ozzy gave him. And fucking how cool is that? That's 2 buddies. Really cool. That's 2 buddies. Awesome.
In an industry that's very spiteful and mean.
Fuck you, that's mine.
And when you see your big legends, like I said, Lemmy never had the giant hit, but he's always a legend in the rock.
But he had a giant mole.
Yeah, man, the giant mole.
Moly.
Somebody says something about mole. It's the first thing I think of. Moly.
When
you hear stories like this of guys like this, it's just amazing because it's like, oh, you can be that big and still be a fucking human being.
Yeah.
How many people we know who get slightly some kind of success in any field, who's the world's giant asshole?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Sorry for hijacking.
Yeah, sorry.
That's right.
Fill up
the only other thing I was going to add about No More Tears on a personal note, and I think this whole list for me, it got played on the radio and much music so much that it's ingrained in my fucking growing up, right? Like it's just part of that. Like I've said before, we've all said before, part of that soundtrack growing up,
right?
And that's
that end of high school soundtrack, right?
Right.
Chris and I, right?
Yeah, I was already out of high school.
I was my second senior year.
Yeah, that would have been my fourth or fifth.
You're senior citizens. Jesus.
It was our first senior year.
I do have one more musical note about No More Tears. One of the things that I find that draws me into that song is Zakk Wylde uses a lot of empty space.
Yeah.
Which is rare for that style of guitar player.
Yeah.
It's that and then stop and let the bass player go. And I love a lot of the empty spaces, and that made that song powerful.
And he also had to do a really cool thing too. I meant to bring up when I picked it up was not only was he just playing the riff behind the lead vocal, right? But he every now and then stick a slide in there.
Yep.
You know,
right.
Using a slide, which is cool.
The only note I had that Joe didn't have was it went certified platinum in Canada. That song.
Yeah, I thought it was bigger here, right?
I think so. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
I don't.
And that's just weird with our countries, right? Like you never know when something is that huge, where you guys have it at number 1, we have it at number 16, and then vice versa, right? It's fucking bizarre.
Yeah.
Mainstream rock in US 71, number 17 on the Dutch top 40.
Yeah, I saw that. I called that out. I saw that.
It's the Tulips.
The Dutch.
I got Tulips.
I can't stand people who are intolerant of other cultures and the Dutch.
There are only 2 things I can't stand in this world. People who are intolerant of other people's cultures and the Dutch.
What?
What kind of name is Poon? Dutch Romanian. My mom's Dutch.
Sorry. Go
That's
ahead.
right.
We totally hijacked Chris's segment.
It already happened. Number 3. Number 3 for me is, again, big radio play for me. Rock 95 all the time because that was the only radio station I could get where I lived. This song was on all the time, but it's Shot in the Dark.
Oh, yeah. Great song.
Yes.
From Ultimate Sin.
Yes.
Number 68, Top 100. Number 10, U.S. Mainstream.
Those are on my notes, too.
Excellent. So do you have... what else do you have, Jimmy?
I have something. It's one of the few Jakey Lee songs I actually like.
Really?
That's not in Joe's notes. That's in his brain.
That's in my brain.
So was it composed in '83 by Wildlife, the band Wildlife? Yeah, band featuring Steve Overland, Simon Kirke, of Bad Company, keyboardist Mark Booty, and future Ozzy Osbourne bassist Phil Susan. Wildlife recorded a demo version. That demo was never officially released.
Really?
Susan joined Osbourne band a couple years later, and he and Osbourne then reworked the song.
That's awesome.
I didn't know that.
I thought Jimmy was going to have that for sure, so I didn't want to step on your toes too much.
I didn't have that.
No,
I didn't know that. Wow, that's
that.
cool.
That's awesome.
No wonder I like that song.
Yeah.
Jakey Lee wasn't involved.
No.
So it does say that as a result, there's been much debate over the proper authorship of the writing. Reddit is credited to Susan Osbourne. Some question whether other members of Wildlife deserve writing credit, but whatever. That happens.
No comment.
No comment.
Sure.
So I remember this song being on the radio, heavy radio play, heavy music, much music video play. I remember, it's weird how the mind works, right? I remember listening to it on the radio, again on Rock 95, and I remember the DJ going, "That's Shot in the Dark by Ozzy Osbourne." That's a good way to get pregnant. I don't remember. I don't know why, but that has fucking stuck in my head for years. I can't remember what I had for lunch last week, but I remember that fucking DJ saying that when we were driving in the car somewhere.
Oh, that's fucking awesome. That's actually pretty good.
That's awesome.
I fucking it's bizarre how that sticks in your head.
Yep. Good stuff.
Having said that, I love his voice on this song. I love the song. I love the vocals. I love the guitar.
I absolutely, no matter what, if this song comes on, I crank it up and I sing along.
Yeah.
I fucking adore this song. I won't save it for my notes. I also love the was it Ozzy Live and Loud with Zakk Wylde? I love Zakk Wylde's version, although there's a shit ton of pinch harmonics in it. But it's fucking awesome, and that throws me to, was that 1986? Yep. I didn't write it down, so it throws me back to that time frame. And Ultimate Sin is one of my favorite Ozzy albums.
So good, man.
This great. And again, it's the time frame. 1986 was, the culmination of my musical upbringing, and just that shot in the dark. The video is goofy with the chick in the backseat of the car. She sees the billboard, and all of a sudden she gets powers. Right. And I fucking love the song.
It's such an 80s video.
All of a sudden she gets pregnant.
Right.
Shot in the dark.
In pre-production, we were talking, and I said, that I was really sad that Ozzy died, and then I started doing some of the notes, and I started getting a little emotional. Just talking about the song made me really fucking emotional, and this is fucking awesome. This is what music's about. Apparently, I'm much sadder about Ozzy dying than I realized right now.
Ultimate Sin was on my short list. In fact, if we did an honorable mention, it would have been it.
God damn, he's still sticking them in.
Slide.
Judges, can we find him?
Judges?
Sure, go ahead. Fight me. Let's go.
After further review, it's good.
Was 10% of $0?
I think I probably owe you money, don't I?
Monthly.
Yeah, right.
Carry on, brother.
My number 2. Again, I'm going to say basic bitch, but it's Bark of the Moon from Bark of the Moon.
Fucking love this song.
Still great.
I love the video. I talk about cheesy 80s video. The theatrics of the video, I love it.
So cheesy.
But it's so good, man. It reminds me of the 80s so much. I remember watching it over and over again when it would come on Much Music. Again, heavy radio play, heavy Much Music play. It would be on regular play, it'd be on the Power Hour. Anyways. Love the song. First video it says that he did. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Number 21, the UK singles. Number 12 on the rock top. Frequently voted one of his best songs. His voice is amazing on it. Lyrically, it's kind of Jekyll and Hyde-ish.
Yeah.
Right? Bark at the Moon kind of thing. So I dig that kind of.
Kitschy. It's very kitschy.
Right. Number 12, mainstream rock. I think I said that already. I don't have a lot of notes. I just love the song. Again, heavy play in my life growing up. I'm big on these heavy radio plays.
Well,
go ahead, Jimmy.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to say something about the video. It's so, we've talked in many episodes how Jimmy, you call us video childs or your
video babies.
Whatever. Right.
Video babies.
Like, this is a perfect example, and I totally forgot about it because that song's not on my list. But as soon as you said the video, it starts playing in my brain. I had a buddy who I've kind of loosely mentioned in other episodes, Mike Barker, who we'd get together. He lived down the road. We'd get together and jam out to metal and stuff. But we'd also rent movies on Friday nights or Saturday nights we'd go into, because we lived in the country, go into town and to the video rental stores, right? The little mom and pop shops, or the small little franchises before there was Jumbo Video and Bandito Video and Blockbuster, obviously.
Right.
But we would rent usually a horror movie and a stand like Eddie Murphy Delirious. I remember several times we rented this video that had music videos.
Yeah.
And it had Bark at the Moon and Fastway and Priest and all these, right, and Slade and all these metal and rock bands. And we would sit around because if we didn't have access to much music and it was only some of the other looser video shows that were on in Canada, it was we got a full videotape here of videos, and then there'd be some Yahoo in between videos talking about it and presenting the video, right? Because it was a production. It was awesome, right? And Bark of the Moon was on it, so that just popped into my head as soon as you start talking about the video. But anyway, that shows how much if you're willing to rent a video, or a VHS tape that's got like 12 music videos on it. Like, holy shit, how desperate were you to see those videos over and over again?
Right. Oh yeah, like I think I mentioned before, my sister worked at a store that had a satellite dish and would record MTV videos, and I would just replay those fucking VHS cassettes over and over again. Find a song I like, rewind that song, play it again, rewind that song, play it again. I had an obsession like with that.
Right. Or if you didn't have the actual cassette, sometimes I would hold my ghetto blaster up to the TV and record it. And the audio would be shitty, but at least you'd have it to go somewhere else rather than just the video.
I remember doing that for the theme to The Greatest American Hero.
I did it with Live Aid. I recorded the whole Live Aid.
Jesus Christ. You standing there all day?
I did it with Prince and the Revolution's Raspberry Beret, because in the beginning he has a little intro and then he coughs. I'm like, oh, this is a different version of the song.
Oh, I haven't.
Right, and he coughs.
And there's some intro's a little bit longer, and I was like, oh, okay.
Fucking sell that as a bootleg.
Right.
Fuck.
So when you said Bark at the Moon, I don't know if you saw, I lit up. I have one of the coolest memories of Bark at the Moon that's not Ozzy related. It's about playing the song.
Nice.
I got this opportunity. Well, my band got this opportunity to open up for Hurricane Alice in Lake Lillian, Minnesota. And we had about a half hour worth of music. So we were told that we needed 45 minutes. So we had to learn 3 songs real quick. So we went to Joe will remember this because there's a really famous picture of us in the front yard. Joe's there. We were practicing at Jansen's house, and we learned Bark at the Moon in 3 takes. And Adam and Brian were the 2 guitar players, just virtuoso guitar players.
Yep.
So we learned this, and we kept fucking it up. And we're like, well, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. So we went on stage, and Mike, the singer Mike, he had this thing. If he didn't remember the words, he would just say watermelon. Different ways. Watermelon.
Watermelon.
So we're playing this, and he forgets a song, and he's like, watermelon, and then it goes right into the solo, and these 2 fucking guitar players just fucking murdered this shit. And it was amazing. My double kick pedal, because I had a single bass, my snapped. So I'm trying to play double bass with 1 foot in my floor tom. It was a nightmare, but it was just the most nostalgic. As soon as you said that, I thought of this memory, and fucking amazing that Ozzy can do this for me.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's wicked.
Awesome.
Yeah, good recall, man. I one of all your stories, that's one that I do remember.
That's cool, because most of my lists are like, oh, I remember it from this, I remember from that, like fucking
Watermelon.
Oh, dude, all the time. And because he didn't think we could understand that he was saying watermelons. Like, dude, we can hear you saying watermelon.
I won't say his last name on here, but all my EP friends will know exactly who I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
All right,
carry on, Chris. I'm sorry.
No. And risk of upsetting Joe, Crazy Town is my number 1. It's just iconic for me. It's the Ozzy song that I always wanted to listen to. When I first heard it, I'm like, what is this? Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Like, I don't know what you want to know about it. I mean, it's from 1980. It's his debut solo single. Mm-hmm. The Randy Rhoads guitar is amazing in it.
Yeah.
I love that Aston Villa, his soccer team or football team, depending what part of the world you're in, uses it still as their entrance theme.
That's awesome.
Right. With a big banner of him sometimes. Have you ever seen that? You know how they do the big soccer, sometimes they'll do a big, and they have like a big fucking Ozzy picture of Ozzy come up when they pull it up, like 20 rows deep.
That's awesome.
Cool. That's fucking awesome.
It was number 9 rock mainstream, top 100, number 6 UK singles 49, charted around the world. But it's one of those songs that if you don't know Ozzy Osbourne songs, you know Crazy Train.
Yeah.
Right. The world knows Crazy Train.
Exactly. They know you can name probably Blizzard of Oz. They might not even know what it is. But you say Crazy Train, they know it's Ozzy Osbourne.
Right.
I always said that Crazy Train was Randy Rhoads' version of Eddie Van Halen's Eruption. Like when you think of Eddie Van Halen, you think of Eruption. You think of Randy Rhoads, you think Crazy Train. If I wasn't such a prick, this song would be easily number one. Right. I just say I've heard it so much.
No, I get that though. Yeah, we all have those songs, right?
But the song, I think, is the riff and solo are legendary, all time best of top 5, probably of all rock. I mean, it's an amazing. And he was just a kid,
right? And I remember the first time I heard it being like the time 1980s where I lived, small town. I only really heard it on the radio. We had to pay to get Much Music when it came along, so we didn't really pay for that until later when we have free weekends, whatever. Yeah. So I would hear it once, and I would fucking wait sometimes days, weeks to hear it again, and I would like die to hear this song again. Yeah, now you hear it all the fucking time, right? Like Joe said, it got overplayed. But back then, when it was something that core memory, like it's just one of those ones for me. And it had to be number one. As soon as we were doing this list, I'm like, cliched or not, overplayed or not, it's my number one.
And like you're saying too, if you pick 20 rock songs that the average person doesn't listen to rock knows, they're gonna know this song. It's gonna be
if you put a compilation together with, they're gonna be all the overplayed ones. Oh, you're going to have Shook Me All Night Long. You're going to have Enter Sandman. You're going to have Crazy Train.
Pour some sugar on me.
You're going to pour some sugar on me. Welcome to the Jungle. You're going to have all the fucking songs that a lot of people don't want to hear, but that's what everybody knows if you were going to play pure rock or pure metal or a combination of
at a wedding.
Right. Chop Chance, Volume 3.
Right.
Yep.
The last thing I had in my notes, it's not going to be a surprise to anybody. It is Osbourne's most played song, 1,150 live performances, 18 million plays on YouTube, 800 million on Spotify as of July 2025.
800 million. Right. How I would love 800 million of you schlubs to watch us.
Right. No wonder they don't listen to us. You call our listeners and viewers schlubs.
I'm just
and the one time you kind of agree with Rolling Stone, it's number 6 on their top 100.
Yeah.
Well, Dink, you have anything to say?
No, I'll wait. No, because my turn's coming up, so I'll just wait to say my stuff.
Well, isn't your turn next? You can go ahead then, sir.
Well, real quick.
No, I think Jimmy's got more to add.
Oh, sorry.
One note. I'm not going to take over like I do in the past. I remember exactly where I was hearing this song for the first time in my life.
Yeah.
I was on 45th Street in South Minneapolis before I moved to Litchfield. We were walking to Lake Harriet with my brother. He had his boombox. He had just bought the tape. He put it in. He cranked it up. And that I bounced off the buildings. And it was like the hair on my legs just stood up.
Yeah.
Old joke, sorry. But fucking A, such a cool fucking memory. I love you, John. Thank you for playing that song for me. God, this is really fucking emotional. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's true though. It's definitely one of those iconic songs we remember. For me, somebody sang it, an older guy in my neighborhood, and I was like, thought he was fooling around. I'm like, what the hell is that? Because I was young, right? I was like 7 or 6, and then somebody said, "You don't know what that is?" And then they went and played it for me. And it wasn't long till I went and got the cassette. Well, first I taped it off a friend, and then I got
one. Right?
Yeah.
After Live Aid.
Yeah. Right.
All right, so pass the torch, bitches.
Okay.
Yes. So that's my list. And Dink, I believe, Mr. Crowley, you're up next.
All right.
Mr. Crowley.
That was a fucking great list, by the way, Chris.
That was. Yeah, both have been solid, very solid. So I will just give my small disclaimer that, Joe, you're not a prick, since we're still on Crazy Train. Because Crazy Train, if we were to blanket it, it probably is number 1 too, but it's not on my list because of the overkill too. So I don't think you are a prick, but not.
Well, I was going to say, it depends who you ask.
Oh, for completely other reasons, though. It's got nothing
totally
to do with
other reasons, not because of Crazy. That's crazy. All right. So I'll roll out my number 4, and my number 4 is probably going to get Jimmy excited because I'm with you on The Ultimate Sin. I fucking love that album. My number 4 is Lightning Strikes. that whole side 2 of that album, because I had it on cassette, is just like I wore that side out, like just over.
I love that fucking opening riff.
Me too. It's so good, right? Like, and of course, it was the 3rd song released from the album after "Shot in the Dark" and the title track. 2nd and last album with Jake E. Lee. 1st album with Randy Castillo. And he'd
rest in peace.
Rest in peace, right? He would go on to play on 2 more albums, right? No Rest and No More, if you want to shorten them.
No.
Yeah, no. Anyway, yeah, he died in 2002 of cancer, which is kind of shitty. And in the final weeks of his life, I found this out in my research. I didn't know. He was working with Mike Inez to start a new band, and they were in the process of hiring a singer when he succumbed to cancer, right? And originally, I think he had died, or he had got sick. He had an ulcer that erupted or something.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
That's awesome.
But I think it's an underrated gem. And what I found in some of my research is that in Ozzy groups and all over the internet, that not only this album, but this particular song by Ozzy fans is considered one of his top 10 underrated gems. So I'm like, wow, I'm glad I think like Ozzy fans think. So that was cool. Big memory for me. It gets me a little emotional too, Jimmy. I'm with you. Yeah, it came out in January 86. So that was grade 7 for Chris and I. Very, important time musically and in life, right? Where you're finding your way, right? So I played the shit out of that album. I love that album. I love this song, and that is my number 4. And like I said, I swapped it today. No More Tears was my 4, and it was number 5. And I thought, no, they're right neck and neck. I'm going to swap, and I'm glad I did because of the double No More Tears.
we would be severely buzzed just on No More Tears.
You'd be shit-faced, right?
Yeah.
Good thing we're only recording one show tonight.
What?
I thought we were doing S Club 7 next.
I have notes for the Escape Club. I don't
know. Doing this podcast with you is like living in the wild.
I have notes for Ready Bellini. But anyway, any of you guys have anything to add on Lightning Strikes?
No.
Nope.
Okay. I will move on. It'll be a fairly quick move on.
Great pick.
Because my number 3 is the same Z and it is Over the Mountain. And Joe covered most things. I don't know if you said anywhere that it charted. It debuted at number 42 on the Billboard Top Tracks. You guys have so many fucking charts.
I know. So many fucking charts.
And reached number 38. So moved up a few spots.
Did the U.S. at one point have a ginger chart?
Wow.
Maybe. He had black charts.
Wow.
Not songs
personally
by gingers, but songs for gingers.
If it was by gingers, it'd just be Ed Sheeran.
Yeah, exactly.
Carrot Top.
Shape of My Heart are.
Maybe some Tori Amos.
Maybe some Simply Red.
He's still red.
Oh my God.
All right.
Still.
I also have in my notes, and Joe, you kind of covered it, Randy's work on this song in particular, and Lee's work is phenomenal, right? So we covered the finales. Yeah. But Randy's work, I have in my notes. Randy's work on this song, and I wrote this myself, in a single word, phenomenal.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And people don't talk about, like, and I'm not going to mention them because there's other songs on Diary that maybe Jimmy has, or not to get any more songs, but there's so many good songs. I love Blizzard. It's clearly, I've stated it in other episodes, it's my favorite album. And I love Ultimate Sin. I just gave it some love. But Diary's got some really good Randy work on some other tracks that aren't huge.
Yep.
And if you know Ozzy or know that album, you know the songs I'm talking about.
I think that's why it's always been my favorite Ozzy album, because like I said, I think Randy just fell into the groove and he was comfortable. And now the juices are flowing. Now you've got really creative.
And some people skip, they listen Over the Mountain, Flying High again, and then move on, right?
Yeah.
And there's other really, really good tracks on that album.
Yes, sir. I agree.
In case you didn't notice, he just snuck a song.
I did sneak another one in.
God damn it.
God damn it.
Who do I talk to?
You.
Anyway, I was trying to stop myself. I wanted to say them all.
Joe would like to talk to the manager.
Right.
We're going to change my name from not Joe Holmes to Karen.
Karen Holmes. Yes. That's a whole different show.
That is. Anyway, I also have in my notes that Bob Daisley said he didn't come up with the lyrics to that song until they were actually recording. So it was on the spot, like they had the music and we need to put some words to this, you know what I mean? Regardless if Frankie brought us the drum pattern.
Yeah.
Right.
Or Bob actually gets credit for the writing.
Right, yeah. Sharon. But I also have in my notes that this song can honestly challenge, even though it's my number 3. I love this song. It could challenge for 1 and 2, but that's how important 1 and 2 are. But
yeah,
it's tough, right? It's like some other lists, and some are very cut and dry that this deserves to be in that spot because we're getting pretty good at ranking. But then some become a blur, right? Where you're like, oh, all 4 of these could be number 1. Mm-hmm. But anyway.
Like I said, we moved away from the honorable mentions. For me, it's gotten easier because now, before I had my 4, and like, oh, I got to mention this song, I got to mention this song.
Right.
So it's easier
a little more, yeah.
But in cases like this, where you got to take 40 years of a career and condense them down to 4 songs, it can get kind of tough sometimes.
It can be. And I think I mentioned in pre-production, and any new listeners or watchers, we did an opening tracks episode, so go back and watch it. It's pretty decent. This is an opening track, and so is my next one, number 2. And both of those could have gotten some, and probably should have gotten some consideration for that episode. And if we ever start doing series and part 2s of episodes, they will get some consideration. Again, I will roll right into my number 2, and it is I Don't Know from Blizzard of Oz. It is the opener. I fucking love this song.
Great song, man.
After I got over my love of Crazy Train when I was a kid, I got on the entire rest of the album, right? And I was so sick of Crazy Train because I would fast forward to Crazy Train and then rewind and listen to Crazy Train and over and over and over again. But when I gave the whole album a play, which I do now, and now I skip over Crazy Train or maybe play it, I Don't Know, for me, is the gem. And again, I won't list the other tracks because there's tons of gems. But this song, it's just Randy again. It's just a great way to start an album, great way to introduce you have the world to Randy. Just sort of kicks you in the face right from the very beginning, right?
Yeah.
What a way to start an album, much less a career, man.
Right.
I mean, that's his first song he releases. Is like, good God, man.
And I have in my notes here, Blizzard. This is just my thoughts. Blizzard is a musical masterpiece. Randy's playing, Ozzy's vocals, Lee's drums, Bob's rhythm. They're just so in sync, and especially on this song.
Yeah.
I will say this. The person that put this band together did a very good job putting a very, very good band together. Because there's one thing putting musicians together that can play very well together, but then the fact that they can write well together is a completely different story and on a completely different level and a
cohesive
galaxy.
Yeah.
And they made it sound easy, because when you hear their music, they sound so congealed. It's like, oh, these guys have been doing it for years. This is their first album together.
Right.
Well, you had said it, Joe. You had said it earlier about just how simple Randy made everything look. I don't know if that was a pre-production or in the show. I apologize to the viewers.
It was an old episode. Yeah.
He just made everything look flawless and effortless, and just technically a virtuoso. So,
and he brought so many things, I alluded to it before, so many different techniques and sounds to the genre that was no one did at the time.
Yeah. I will finish up this song, if you have nothing else to add, with Jim. You talked about Randy being relieved of his duties or released from Sabbath, basically based on his drug use, right? Is what Tony said.
I was trying not to put a negative spin.
And Ozzy came out and said, "Well, I wasn't doing any more drugs than anyone else."
Right? Yes.
Right. So, right. But this song, which is your in your face opener to his solo, reflects themes of confusion and uncertainty about his release from Sabbath. Yeah. Right. What's the future of mankind? How do I know I got left behind? People think that's a blasé statement about whatever, where I think he's confirmed it is somewhere along the line that it was about, how do I know? Like those guys moved on without me.
Yeah.
They hired Ronnie James and did their thing, right? Like,
and I'm going to be controversial and say Ozzy got the best end of that deal.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. I love Ronnie James Dio, and I like some of that Sabbath work, and I like Born Again, even with Ian. But fuck, I'll take his.
Ozzy went from here with Sabbath albums
any day of the week.
Absolutely, yeah, and going light years beyond those guys when he went solo.
Yeah, any one of his solo albums is better than Mob Rules or Heaven and Hell, and
I don't know about that, but yeah, fair enough. It's all perspective.
Yeah,
it's all perspective.
It's all opinion.
Yep.
That's my number 2. If you got nothing else to add?
No. Give it to us.
All right. My number 1 is also a samey, and I think I alluded to that. So my number 1 is Can't Kill Rock and Roll. This has always been my favorite song by him. I fucking love this song. So I had what Joe said about they never played it live. And the lyrics convey, this is what I found on the internet. The lyrics convey a message about the power of rock and roll as an unstoppable force, emphasizing its ability to survive and thrive despite challenges. Okay. But I believe, and I found this in some other spots, that the song is really about Ozzy's bad relationships with critics, people accusing him of worshiping the devil, and fake stories by journalists. Right.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing I had to add that Joe didn't have, minus just my personal love of the song. I love the song.
Yeah.
And for those who are younger, if you're watching or listening to the show, this is a time too when music was the root of all evil. It's like, oh, he's listening to devil worshiping. Oh, there's a pentagram.
Oh yeah, my parents didn't want me listening to Ozzy.
How was your parents? I was just going to say, what were your parents like? Because my parents were like, "What's with this Ozzy stuff?"
Yeah,
like,
no, they would. Yeah, no.
The funny thing is, my parents were pretty strict. Like I said, I think I said it on the previous episode. I couldn't watch, Starsky and Hutch. I couldn't watch wrestling because it's too violent. But my parents were pretty liberal about music because my dad was like, when I was young, my parents thought big band music was for the devil.
Right.
Like, yeah. I mean, it's always been something, right?
Right.
Starsky and Hutch.
Yeah, well, my parents, like I said, I could not watch that, but I could listen to Ozzy Osbourne.
Right. I draw the line at Huggy
Bear. Sweater wasn't that? Like,
Huggy Bear is too much.
I draw the line.
No more heart to heart.
Heart to heart.
Right.
Well, they prefer
high boots.
They prefer stars of their shows who don't kill people.
Right.
Shit. Anyway, that's my list. I'll pass it off to you, Jimmy. I'm getting emotional too. I fucking love this music.
Yeah. I agree. I kind of was worried that I was going to get emotional because I started reading. And by the way, that was a phenomenal list. All 3 of these lists have been amazing. I was kind of worried that I was going to get emotional, and I have been emotional. I've cried several times, and fuck me. But they're happy tears because if you've noticed, everything I've talked about is nostalgia. I have a great memory with this. I was walking down 45th Street to Lake Harriet with my brother hearing Crazy Train for the first time. That made me cry because I love my fucking brother. I love Ozzy Osbourne. I mean, nonetheless, just a fucking great music and great memories, and that's what music's about, is to feel. And I feel right now. It's sad that he passed. It's sad when anyone passes. But yeah, fucking what a great career that this guy has had. I mean, Black Sabbath, Ozzy Osbourne. He was in TV shows. He was on fucking American Idol, for God's sakes. I mean, he was the Osbournes. I mean, the guy's been. I think he did a butter commercial too. I mean,
he Conan. I remember back in the day when Conan had the Late Show. He brought him in to like hype up his staff, and he's answering phones and shit. It's hilarious.
Yes.
Did you see that clip where he's singing Crazy Train on the phone? He forgot the lyrics.
I forgot the fucking lyrics.
So good.
What's the commercial he does with the Osmonds? Is that the butter one?
I think it's
no, that's diet. It's like Pepsi free or Diet Pepsi or
Crystal Pepsi. How fitting. All right, so okay, I'm gonna start with my list. Let's see. I have one samey. I'm kind of shocked. I came at this list a little differently. Initially, when we talked about this, first of all, for you listeners and viewers, we did not have lists pre-prepared for this. Unfortunately, a sad event happened, and Dink said we need to do this.
Oh, we
put together really quick. I hopefully hasn't shown that it's a really
24 hours.
I did a lot of power listening. I went through a bunch of stuff. So I didn't go as deep as Dink was talking about with some of the newer stuff. I'm familiar with the newer stuff, but I went into the deep dive into my nostalgia, as I tend to do, threw the headphones on and just got sad and happy. So number four is Perry Mason.
Oh, yeah.
Osmosis. This is 1995. This is the 24th single that Ozzy Osbourne ever released. The album went number 4 on the U.S. Billboard in 200 in 1995. What was happening in 1995? Grunge. Ultimately. And Ozzy said, "No, out of my way, bitches. I'm going to put an album out." And he fucking killed it with it.
And changed nothing. It's still an Ozzy album. It wasn't Ozzy doing grunge.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And Zakk Wylde fucking kills it with that opening riff.
Yeah.
It's just fucking really cool. It's powerful. This album, this song is actually Ozzy, Zakk Wylde, Geezer Butler on this album, and Dean Castronovo. Dean Castronovo is just an amazing powerhouse drummer who's played with everyone.
Yeah.
It's guitar bass driven. Dean's drums are really great on this. There's 2 conflicting stories about what the song's about. AI took 2 different stories, put them together, said it's about how Ozzy felt being stuck in courthouses for a couple big lawsuits that he was going through. But Ozzy says he got released from rehab, he was housebound, and watched Perry Mason on repeat.
That's the one I heard.
That's what the song is about, then, because just again, what we could talk about Ozzy before being a true open human being and just being who he was.
Yeah,
we're gonna bullshit you,
right?
Yeah,
yeah.
And I just love that doom 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 doom.
I listened to it just before our show. Yeah,
that's fucking. To me, it's an empowering song. I hear it and I go, yes, this is fucking cool. So I got a little newer Ozzy in here on this list. So.
Congrats.
I am newer, but
newer.
Well, 95. I mean, everything else was previous to that.
Right. No, I know.
I am a Zakk Wylde fan. I do like Black Label Society. I just Pride and Glory, another band that Zakk Wylde was in, Southern style, Git Picker as he calls it. It's Zakk. I love Zakk. I love his false harmonics, his pinch harmonics. Some guitar players don't care for them, some do, and I thought he brought a new level to guitar. Unfortunately, everyone from No Rest for the Wicked on decided to over-squelch their guitar.
Oh yeah.
I really love this song. It makes me feel. I love it.
Nice.
You guys?
No, great pick. Yeah, because I literally was listening. It was on my short list. It really was.
It's a great pick. 2 things. When I think of 95, I remember myself and a couple of buddies who were Ozzy fans who, like, and I've said this in other shows, I wasn't actively, whatever that means, listening to Ozzy, right? But they're like, "Have you heard the new album?" I'm like, "The new album's great." It's so good, right? Because like you said, Joe, like it just, like, he didn't change. He just came out with an Ozzy album, just another heavy Ozzy album, which was the same for him, but different than everything else that was out there. And it was a nice, like, like almost like a comfort food, right? Or Apollo 15 or whatever you want to call it.
And I will say this too. I've kind of not ripped on bands, but said a lot of older rock bands, when you listen to their older original albums, the mixes don't hold up or the songs don't hold up. Everything I listened to in the last few days from Ozzy holds up. Doesn't matter if it's from the early 80s or from the 90s, it all holds up.
Agreed.
Well, it helps.
My second point was
money.
Yep. My second point was about Zach. Yeah, I'm a huge fan too. I love Black Label Society. I love, this is certainly not to get another song in, but I love how he has him on Stillborn. I love how he refers to him as the boss. I had the boss play on this one, and when he plays an acoustic, I'll just play this acoustic, but the boss usually sings this with me, and I'm like, I love that. I love that he's still all those years later referred to him as the boss, right?
Yeah.
If you see those two together in any interviews, they are like 14-year-old boys together.
Yeah, they really are.
They're pawing at each other and loving and glowing, and they're just
right.
Yeah.
And you know what it makes me? It makes me miss Randy. Like, because we didn't get all those years later what Ozzy and Randy would have been like.
Yeah.
Maybe it would have fallen apart like it did with Jake. Who knows, right? Like when Jake had his issues.
I was going to say that. I think that's all on Jake.
Well, yeah, but when Jake had his, like, was he held up or what happened to him? Was he mugged or shot or stabbed or?
Well, that
recently? That was recently.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. And Ozzy came to his defense and said, I haven't talked to Jake in 27 years or something, but I'm thinking about him, and it's nostalgic for me thinking about all our time together. I hope he's doing okay.
Sure, yeah.
Well, the thing with Jake, how do I say this without besmirching someone? So
allegedly, always start out with allegedly.
No, there's no alleged. There's no alleged. So Jake joins
an ostrich, allegedly.
Right. So Jake joins Ozzy. Jake gets a verbal contract saying you're going to go and you're going to write. You're going to get paid X amount. If happens, he doesn't get paid. They go back in and record Ultimate Sin, and Jake Lee does this paramour. Brings all of his shit because he thinks he's getting paid. He pulls out all the stops. He does all this, writes things, brings his tapes in, and he said, "Okay, the album's done. All right, so where's my check?" The other Osbourne changed things up on him, and he said, "Peace out." So I don't think it was the Jake Lee.
Well, you're true. That's true. Brad Gillis before him on the tour before him was a little bit smarter and said, it's not my thing.
Yeah, right.
I think he's been a little more eloquent over the recent years of saying it wasn't that certain somebody. It's like, I just didn't fit and, blah, blah, blah.
Right. Well,
earlier on, it was not that kind of tone. And you're right. I won't blame Jake, but
Brad could go back to Night Ranger anyway, right? Or did he go back?
Yeah,
absolutely did.
Jake really didn't have anywhere to go, right?
No.
And my whole point was the relationship with Zach. It makes me sad that we didn't get to see what it would have been like with Randy years.
See Randy get older, or Randy do a third, fourth album, or whatever it may be. Because, like I said, he was 25 when he passed away, 23 when he got together with Ozzy. It's like
too fucking young, right?
Fucking young.
Anyway, that's what I got to say on that. But no, great pick.
Yeah, really good pick.
All right, so I am now going to go to old school, Blizzard of Oz. This album is fucking amazing. It has not been mentioned yet. I'm not going to say the name yet. What I really loved about this song, it was a softer side, and there was a complete different tonality to the guitar sound. And it's Goodbye to Romance.
Wow.
Oh,
yeah. Nice.
I absolutely, there is a heartfelt sentiment. I'm just going to read something real quick. It's the chorus. I say goodbye to romance. Goodbye to friends, I tell you. Goodbye to all the past. I guess we'll meet in the end. You can't get much more heartfelt than that.
No.
There's not a lot of deepness to a lot of Ozzy's lyrics, but when they hit, and this is one of those ones that hits for me. And this song probably would have been on my lists ever had he not died, had he not gone back, or had I not
changed his perspective,
and listened to this song and had a moment. And I had a moment with this song, and I said, this song needs to be on this list, and people need to hear this song. And God damn it. Fucking powerful song.
Yeah, it's a great song, man. And I always thought it was one of those songs was because again, I listened to this album fully through and a couple other albums fully through, and I was listening going, this I kept on thinking when I was listening to the song going, this is the devil worshiper singing.
Right.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Because this song is more true to Ozzy as a human being, I think. And
right.
This is speaking of somebody who's never met him, obviously, but just everything we've talked about and seen, this is more true to who he was than say anything else that he would act out in theatrics when it comes to music,
Yeah.
It was on my short list. I love this song.
Good song.
Great song.
Great song.
I got two things. I got two things again.
Yep.
Okay.
Please.
So first and foremost, for anyone that doesn't look at our socials, I put together a little thing the other day with pictures of Ozzy with bands and other artists with that clip of part of the chorus, as much as I can get away with without a copyright infringement. Fuckers. But it was pictures with him because all those came out of the woodwork from all those artists were posting them online, right? Yeah. So pictures with him and Gene and Paul and him and Elton John and him, Jonathan Davis from Korn, and him with Crew and Aerosmith and Def Leppard. Like everybody was, because again, they fucking loved him, right? Everybody loved him. And that song, you're right, hits now. My second point, more so since he's passed, much like See You on the Other Side does. Mama Coming Home even hits a little bit different, right? Yeah. Even Close My Eyes Forever hit a little bit different.
Right. Oh, yeah. I got a story about that.
Did you see Billy Corgan telling his story about that? He was him and he didn't say who it was. He goes, it was me, and he goes, and another famous singer from the 90s. He goes, I don't want to say who it was because it was a personal moment for the three of us. He goes, we were there watching Ozzy rehearse, and he looked out and saw us, and he just smiled and gave us the peace sign, like the traditional Ozzy wave. And he goes, Billy Corgan goes, I started to cry. He goes, the guy that I was with started to cry. He goes, it's like Ozzy's just being in his sweet self, and Billy Corgan going, and I'm realizing that like this might be my last interaction with him, right?
Right.
Like,
you say cool. that lived on my bedroom walls,
right?
And my sister said the other day when I posted something about Ozzy and said such a big part of my childhood, like everybody was. And my sister said, such a big part of my childhood across the hall with you cranking them. And I'm like, right. And then I found the fucking picture that was the poster. And it was a tough search because there's so many fucking pictures of Ozzy. So many recent ones, more than there is the old ones.
Yeah, I agree.
But I did a deep dive and found it. And I'm like, and this poster on my wall, the exact picture. And it's him giving the peace sign with playing. And I don't know what the concert is, but he's shirt off, his chest tattoos showing, and that lived on my walls, a great big poster forever, right? And then all kinds of little things I ripped out of Circus and Hip Raider magazine underneath it from other bands, right?
Right.
Anyway, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna move on.
Great pick, man.
All right, so number 2 is My Only Same Z. And it's Shot in the Dark, Ultimate Sin, Jake Lee. I don't have a lot of extra notes. I think Chris talked about it a lot, and I added my nostalgia note early. It's fine. I've talked enough. Just a great fucking song. I mean, Absolutely. It really is. It's a full song. The pinch harmonics, the harmonics, there's just something about that. Dun, 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 dun. I mean, you can hear it. You can sing the solo in your head. You can just everything about it. It's awesome. That's my number.
Isn't that the Bumblebee cape? Is that the black and yellow outfit that he wore?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I call it the bumblebee cape. I don't know if anybody else called it that.
The striper cape.
I have been lucky enough to see Ozzy several times.
I don't even want to go there, man. I never got to see him again. It's another one on the list of dinks and idiots.
I got to see Ultimate Sin with Metallica opening up. Right. I think you came.
I think I just did a little bit.
He came out in this bat coffin that had Ozzy's face in it that slowly
that was puppets too, right?
Four wires, and it wasn't really safe. Came, sat down, opened up, and there was this throne, and it was fucking amazing.
Was that Puppets, or was Puppets out yet?
It was Puppets, yeah, with Cliff Burton. Yeah,
nice.
So someone snuck me out of the house. I won't say who. Let me down.
Watch out, your mom's gonna ground you now.
Well, I was grounded at the moment. I mean, I was 15
and then afterwards.
But
somebody grounded afterwards.
So that's fine.
Well worth it.
So yeah, that's number 2. Number 1, number 1 has always been my favorite Ozzy song. I love the "fuck you" of this song. And this song introduced Zakk Wylde to the world. It's the first single off of No Rest for the Wicked. It's Miracle Man.
Yeah.
What is so awesome about this song are the lyrics. I was just saying previously that his lyrics aren't really that profound. This song, the lyrics are profound, and the reason why is, Jimmy Swaggart, a television evangelist, was one of his biggest protagonists, always talking about how Ozzy is evil and his lyrics are evil and he does this as evil. His music is sex related, which is evil. And then just a couple years later, the evil hit Jimmy Swaggart with his prostitutes and other things.
Yeah,
I won't go further, but
it's always those who project.
I don't want to say it on this show because it sounds wrong, but fuck you, Jimmy.
Right? Right? I mean, the whole song it's a diss track. I mean, it's literally like one of the first diss tracks out there. I don't have a lot of notes to this. It's fucking a great song, and it opens up the album. This is Zakk Wylde's introduction to the world. I think he was like 18 or 19 at the time.
Right.
And he just came out just kicking down doors, and the lyrics to this are just fucking incredible. And that love it. I can't do a pitch harmonic. Sorry, but I get excited. This has always been my favorite Ozzy song, and it will always be my favorite Ozzy song.
I said before I only like 4 albums, but I forgot when this song came out, I bought this album. And I remember looking at the album going, this might be the coolest album. And it's for the dumbest reasons, because you get the 2 little girls on each side and you have the girl next to him who's screaming at him. I'm like, whatever reason, that's a cool image. I don't know why. Yeah. That's a very good album, man. And I was like, okay, this Zakk guy is a little bit better than the last guy.
Yeah, and of course. Well, and you guys know he's so much different than Randy, but in my small circle of friends that liked Ozzy, we were all like, oh no, he found another young fucking
Norse Viking
wonder, found another beauty, right? How does Ozzy keep finding these guys?
Right.
He's Ozzy, they go find him.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. When you're Ozzy, they come to you.
Yeah.
So nice pick, man. Great pick.
Great list. Great pick. Great. All were great lists. Fuck.
That's my list. All of these lists, like I think you said it, that none of us could really go wrong with any of our songs. I talked to pre-production. I'm just gonna say this real quick. I spoke with my brother-in-law. I got to do a shout out to Ryan Wentland. I said, what would be your songs? And he said,
oh yeah, you didn't tell us the songs. I want to, yeah.
Mr. Tinker Train.
Oh, nice.
Ultimate Sin, Miracle Man, and Perry Mason.
Wow.
After he sent this message to me, a couple hours later, he goes, fuck me, those are the opening songs to every one of those albums. So I wanted to give him that love, and I wanted to throw that out there because it's a fucking great story.
Yeah,
that's nice picks, Ryan. Nice pick.
If you guys don't have anything else to say, I want to close this out because I think we've done some great justice here to a profound musician, just a huge part of my life. You guys have anything else to say before I close it out?
No, I would echo those sentiments. A massive part of my younger life.
Absolutely.
Yep. Same. I just hope, and I know it's not going to be true, but I hope the longer we do this show, I hope we don't have to do as many of these.
Agreed.
Right. I know we're going to have.
It's bound to happen where we're going to slide one in because we lost another beauty. Right. But let's hope it's not that many.
And ultimately, you kind of look back and go, I wish we would have done this before this happened because it would have been like, I don't know.
Oh, I would have been posting clips of it all.
Honestly, I don't. With that statement, I don't know. I think the glow that we have talking about the music might be a little more profound because, unfortunately, he has passed.
Right.
Yeah.
And that we're talking from a true place of love rather than I really like these songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, I'm gonna read one little lyric and then I'm gonna do my thing. So I'm changing the words just a bit to make it more common, to more relevant. So it's verse 2 of Goodbye to Romance. It's I've been the king, I've been the clown. Now broken wings can't hold me down. I'm free again. The jester with the broken crown. It won't be me this time around to love in vain. I love you, Ozzy. Thank you for your years of service to my musical life. Thank you three for going on this journey tonight with me. And thank you for letting me be emotional. Last but not least, I love you, Ozzy. I'm Jimmy, Dink, Chris, and Joe. Go fuck yourself.